Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is, can small events cause big disruptions? Interesting topic today, Trey, considering all that's going on in the world. The reason we picked that topic is because last week we talked about some big events, or what we thought would be big announcements. And today we want to focus on some things that are on, as I like to say, the back pages of the newspaper. I'm going to date myself here, the back pages of the internet. So talk just a little bit about last week. We talked about Fed chairperson.
Yeah, last week we mainly focused on the new Fed chairperson, and it was Jerome Powell. It's been set up to be nominated. He'll still have to go through the Senate confirmation, but that should be easy, considering he was kind of the consensus pick, which is very good. Should be very uneventful for the markets and positive. We kind of expected that, but you never know.
And we talked about tax cuts.
Yep, the tax cuts came out. There's going to be a lot of due diligence, 900 pages, but it looks like a fairly good corporate cut. And so those events have happened, and now the markets are going to react.
Right, and so that's big news events.
Right. Yeah, there was no secret about that. That was front page.
But the one thing is, our clients and people watching our vlog continue to email us, or in conversations with them, they keep saying, what can cause this market to trade back? What are the disruptions? And with 30 plus years in the industry, I've always said that it can be the small events that can cause the big disruptions. Everybody's over here focused on these big events, and you have to watch out. And the point I want to make here is that Castro with the Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962. In the 1970s, we had the oil crisis, and the Mideast at that point wasn't considered that powerful. 1979, you had the Iran hostage crisis. Saddam Hussein in 1990 came out of
little
nowhere.
country Kuwait.
Exactly. Invasion of Kuwait. Osama bin Laden in 2001. These are things, while everybody was watching the big events, out of nowhere did we have some small event that became a huge event and a big disruptor. We have got some things on the back pages, as I like to say, that are not being reported that we're watching. You talked about Venezuela this morning. You want to elaborate some more on that?
Venezuela is one of the largest oil reserves in the world. They're also extremely, unsettled country geopolitically right now. And they've announced last week that they are going to have to restructure their debt. And that's a nice way of saying that they're not going to be able to pay it back. And so that is something that really no one's watching, but could have a large impact on bond markets, our clients' portfolios, and then expand that from just the debt markets to the oil market globally.
Right.
Which then again, that
energy is a hot topic.
It's very hot, especially from geopolitical events. Everyone kind of needs energy.
Right. But let's talk though where the dynamics have changed too. The United States is now the biggest producer of oil and natural gas. Fracking, the technology has changed the dynamics.
Right. So we're starting to export. We can make our own energy. We're still the largest energy user, but now we're one of the largest energy producers in the world. So we kind of can benefit from these disruptions.
Right. And then talk about Saudi Arabia. You and I went back and forth on that. I mean, big news this morning.
Yeah, it's surprising news. Saudi Arabia kind of always, you felt like it was a stable country within the Middle East, and they had a huge, almost semi-coup where they arrested some very high, powerful, very popular individuals. One of them is Prince Al-Wahid, which if you watch CNBC was on just last week. Interviewing. He's one of the largest investors in the world. In Saudi Arabia, he was arrested over the weekend. And so that's kind of below the radar, but it shows a very big shift in kind of their mentality of how they deal with the Western world and how they deal with their monarchy.
Right, but there's a big push to cut OPEC production, which if they cut OPEC production could raise oil prices unless the United States responds.
Unless we're able to respond quickly to increase production.
Right, and then of course there's also just the electric vehicle, that technology. Saudi Arabia, the Mideast is very worried about the dynamics that change there.
They want to stay ahead of that.
Right, so there's rippling effects taking place. We're watching them very closely. You need to know, we ask constantly, how will this impact our clients' portfolios and have an impact on the market and the economies? This information could very well be one of those disruptors out there, not to mention what's still going on in North Korea. We didn't even address that. And as we approach the Olympics, South Korea is hosting it in February. We think the tension with North Korea could escalate there just because we really believe they don't want the Olympics to be successful for South Korea. So any attempt to scare everybody off is full steam ahead. So on that note, we're going to keep you updated. Continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We want to continue having this dialogue with you in person, emails, multiple ways to communicate. And just know that it's very important to us to bring you information that consolidates what's out there in the mass media to let you know how it could impact you, your portfolios, and the economy that at this point seems very strong and moving forward.
Seems to be doing very well.
It does. Have a great week. We'll keep you updated.